name is Helen Matthew. I'm a Canadian lawyer. I've been in the UAE for 22 years. So I'm started my 23rd year in this country. I came here in 1994. Basically, I had received a job offer to come and join a friend who had opened up something. Now, if you put yourself back in 1994, we were just coming out from the Second Gulf War. The famous movie Not Without My Daughter had just been coming out in the cinemas. And that's when approximately I had the job offer to come over here. Not being from a Middle Eastern background or not knowing anything about the place, I mean, I have to admit that first I said yes because I really wanted to go and work abroad, but I didn't even know where Dubai was. So my first reaction was to go to the library of the law firm where I was working and get an atlas, open it, find Saudi Arabia, and work my way back to Dubai from Saudi Arabia, because in those days no one really knew Dubai. And then you know, you have to, but everybody knew Saudi Arabia, so you would go to Saudi Arabia and say, okay, that's not very far, it's a neighboring country, and I found out where Dubai was. So I practiced for 3 years, and I found it very interesting. I was here for a contract first of 6 months, and they said, if you like it, you can stay for a little bit longer, and of course I loved it. I mean, the exposure to different nationalities, traveling, being close to everything, really, I had a feeling I was in the middle of everything. I was also very lucky that my arrival coincided with the appointment of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum as the Crown Prince of Dubai. And from early on, I could feel that things were changing. I mean, he really started to be a firm advocate of Dubai and trying to announce all of these projects. So it was, you know, for me, I could see the potential. I could see from where it was going. And that's when I decided that it might be a great thing to open my own legal consultancy. So I approached in 1996, sometimes in 1996, the ruler's office, which is the office of the Crown Prince, to obtain my own legal consultancy. And it was very difficult, and it took me a year and a half to obtain it, but I finally obtained it, and I was able to open my own legal consultancy in February 1998, which is called Helen Matthew Legal Consultants. Now, I have to say something about the name, because I was very young, and I was, you know, with the ideology and, you know, the world and international. So when I went to the economic department to obtain my license, you know, you need to give a suggestion of 10 names to put as the name of the firm that you want. And so I had put all kinds of really nice things, international, blah, blah, and so on and so forth. And when I got to the counter, the person looked at me and he said, it will be Helen Matthew Legal Consultant with an S or without an S. What is it that you want? So I was taken aback, and I was like, oh, this is so self-centered, oh my God, but I didn't have a choice. He said, these are the only choices that you have. I said, okay, I'll take with an S. I guess that will do. And I was very disappointed, but actually with the years, it's probably the biggest blessing that was given to me without knowing, because people that wanted a female lawyer found my name. People who wanted a French-speaking lawyer found my name, which had not been, would have not been the case had they gone for an international something. So I would say that, you know, Helen Matthew Legal Consultants, at the very beginning, I thought that was very self-centered, and I didn't really like it. But at the end, it served the purpose of attracting people that I wanted to work with. So basically, I have to thank that person in the economic department for giving me that blessing, basically. So, and then since then, and why I wanted to open my own legal consultancy, because I could see that the practice of a lawyer was just expanding as as the country was changing and developing and opening up to the rest of the world. And if you look at what the practice of a lawyer was 20 years ago to what it is today, it's 180 degrees difference. And I could see that it was vibrating and it was doing, that it was really, really expanding. So basically we offer all the legal services except going to courts, because I am not licensed. I'm not an advocate, I'm a legal consultant, so I'm not entitled to go to court, which is fine with me, because I think there's a lot of things that you can do before you actually have to go to court, and that corresponded more to what I do, or what I am, or who I am, basically. I do a little bit of arbitration. I do also litigation in the IFC. But in this case, I really don't take the lead. I work with lawyers that are mostly litigator that would handle it, and then I just help out. I'm really more of a co-counsel in this case. Basically, what I try to do is to be a one-stop service for people that come. I want to be able to assist my clients to have a long-term relationship and being able to assist them with all of their needs. So that means that I do divorce also. I help in getting divorced, although that's not what I like to do. But it helps my clients because, with time they get to know you, they get to trust you, and you want to be able to assist them as much as possible. The thing is, whenever the saying is you're jack of all trade, master of none, so you just have to have the intellectual honesty whenever it's something which is beyond the scope or get things a little bit more complicated and you do not have the expertise to go and seek out the help. And then I'm happy to do that. And I tell my clients, okay, here it becomes a little bit something which needs someone who's a little bit more specialized in that area. So let's go and consult. And they are very happy when you do admit that this is not part of your expertise, but you go out and get out the right things. And you are able also to advise them because you're a lawyer. So whatever the lawyer is going to be saying, you will be able to advise them as to, yes, it makes sense in the structure that we have set up, or no, it doesn't. And then there is a nice dialogue going on. Well, without knowing really, when I first came on, when I applied, I know that I was the first Western woman to obtain the legal consultancy license in Dubai to practice. And that's something which I'm, of course, really proud of. And I have to admit that for me, being a woman has been more of a benefit than a weakness. Because I think in this part of the world, there's a lot of respect for women. And there's a lot of respect for intelligent women. And you see it today when you look at the government and you look at the women empowerment and you look at who the next generation coming up. There's a lot of bright women that are in a leading role. And I think I've never felt that I was at a disadvantage, and I've been asked this question so many times, but I always say that in the legal profession, back home in North America, there's a lot of dinosaurs, and actually you find dinosaurs everywhere in the world. So you know what, again, whenever someone has an issue with dealing with a woman, you have a colleague that can handle it. And you know what, it does not bother me. That's their rights. You just, again, have to be very flexible, and you need to know when it's time to be forward or to go backwards, like to be a little bit more in the shadow. Again, if you are self-confident about who you are, you can be sometimes in the forefront, you can be in the shadow. What is important is that you feel that you're making a contribution to whatever is at stake. And that's what is extremely important. The rest, if they have an issue with me being a woman or not, does not concern me at all. We have an issue, we have something over here. If you do have an issue, then I'll be in the background. I may not even come to the negotiations, but you can rest assured that I will be involved in the background and I will know everything which is going on. So I really, again, feel that it was actually a strength. Being a woman, being self-confident, knowing what my strengths were, what my weaknesses were and are, because we're all human beings. We have all strengths and weaknesses. If you are honest enough with yourself to know what they are, right and left, then you know where you are going. what advice I would give to lawyers coming in this country? I mean, you need to come over here. I mean, I think again, the key to success is to have an open mind. You need to be open to what is in front of you and what is around you. I mean, the UAE has that multicultural diversity from which you can learn tremendously. Of course, it's got its challenges because negotiating in a multicultural environment would be very different than what maybe people will be used to. It'd be North America, Asia, anywhere, because there are peculiarities for any region in the world. The way an Asian lawyer will negotiate will be different than a North American or than a European or than a Middle Eastern lawyers. So you need to be open. You need to be open. You need to want to learn. Learn from others, learn from the culture, be curious about everything. If you come like this, well, you will have an experience like this. So, and you're gonna miss out on so much. You're gonna miss out on fantastic relationships with people. You're gonna miss out on amazing deals, amazing, you know, look at what has been done in the last 20 years. I mean, I cannot say that I've participated in everything that has been built in this country, but you know, in my own ways, I feel that I have that little brick everywhere, every now and then, or every places in this country where I have been participating in building something. And that's something that you don't get in a lot of places. And you know what, you come and practice over here, you have that chance to contribute to something in the making. Because for me, the UAE is something in the making. It's always changing. It's always, there's always, the leadership is just unbelievably dynamic. And you know, and they always make sure that they surround themselves with people that can understand their vision and their dynamism. So you know what, if we come over here like this, we're gonna miss out on all of that buoyancy that is happening in this country, which is the stepstone towards the entire region. So, and this is what you, and again, if you come over here, you're like this, then there's the whole entire region. You work in the Middle East, you work in Dubai, you work in the Middle East. So again, if you come with a very narrow mind, you're gonna miss out on so many things at so many levels. In terms of what changes in terms of the clients, serving the clients 20 years ago and now, I think the advent of internet is something that has changed tremendously clients and the way lawyers do business. Why is that? Because they have access to so many information. I mean, when I came 20 years ago, if you wanted to find out something about the LLC, I mean, you needed to go to the economic department or to the Chamber of Commerce, ask questions, and if you were lucky, they would have printed out a couple of leaflets. Now you have thousands of websites that tell you about it. So the advent of technology has really made clients more sophisticated in what they are looking for. There's also a danger, though. What you access through this technology is not always true, because the technology gives you access to information but does not make the distinction between what's right and wrong. So, and that's where we come in, and that's where it's important that people do consult lawyers or do consult professionals to be able to tell them from what's right from what's wrong. And that's where it becomes the weakness of the technology. So yes, the people have more information, they are more sophisticated, so the questions they're going to be asking are going to be much more in-depth, but you still need to go and ask that questions as a client. Because if you think that you know everything, this is where no one knows everything, and this is where you really need to go and seek out the professional advice. Otherwise, you know, preventing something is always much easier than treating it. We've always said it. So, and the same principle applies in business in the region. Well, again, so in terms of technology and how it's changed the legal profession, well, first of all, I mean, you've got all of these templates that are now available onto the websites, which are good for clients as well as for lawyers. You know, today having access, you know, we you know, even as lawyers, we don't have all of the science. We don't know everything. So sometimes it's an area where, you know, we did not touch base on. So sometimes we just need to have some sort of a template to start working with, and then you go and make the research, and then you will adjust it and you will do your work professionally. So I would think that yes, the advent of technology also helped the lawyers in getting access to information, to case laws. A tool such as Legal Advice Middle East, I think, is a great tool for both lawyers and clients. I mean, first, because I think it addresses a new need, an emerging need of the younger generations being so web related. I mean, for me, 20 years ago, there was no internet. So it's a skill that I had to learn, that I had to learn. It was not something like innate. Like if you look at the generation of people that are in their 20s, they were born with that technology. So when you're born with the technology, their use of it is completely different than my use. Although I tried to catch up on a few things, but like for example, the legal profession was very, very reluctant about using digital marketing and social media. And you know what? We're coming around it, that we like it or not, because that's the way we have to recruit clients. But a platform like the Legal Advice Middle East is a great platform because of two things. First, it's a pool of lawyers that are saying, hey guys, I'm here, and here's my profile, and you're going to choose the lawyer that suits your profile. I don't have the science to answer everyone, and my personality doesn't fit all kinds of customers, and I'm fine with that. Vice versa, sometimes there are clients that I'm not able to work with because of various reasons, that it be a personality or ethics or something or the other, which does not happen very often, but it does happen. And I've said, you know what, please just go and find yourself another lawyer, because I'm being honest with you. I think you can get something better from another lawyer or another law firm if no one else can do it within my office. So a platform such as this one, gives you the possibility to ask questions as a client to lawyers. So it can be addressed in a general pool, which means that you're going to go and just put a general questions, and a lawyer that is interested will click it and take it and answer your questions. Or you can actually ask specifically questions to a lawyer directly. So you can send me an email directly to me saying, Helen, I have a question for you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this generation of speed and fasting, that's the best way to do the first contact. And that's where it really serves a very, very important need for that generation of, not fast food, because I don't think the fast food is a right analogy for this. Because for me, something which is fast food, you eat it and you throw it away. It's fast access. So it's something that you have access quickly, you make a first contact, and then after that you develop it into something else. And then it becomes the duty of both the lawyer and the clients to bring it to fruition. It takes, it has to be on both sides. So it's a great platform. And this is where the legal profession is going. I mean, more and more, now we can work from anywhere and everywhere. We don't have to work from our own practice. We can we can leave early and work from home and still be as efficient as if we're at home, because we have access to our billing system, our servers, everything. So it's literally like being in the office without being in the office. So the same applies to finding a lawyer. So yes, a contact is still necessary for me because I'm a person of contact. Some of the lawyers may not necessarily want that and say we can do everything by email. It's not really my style, although this is, maybe we're going to be aiming, there will be a part of the practice that will be aiming or will be developing in that direction in the future. But I still believe that there will be lawyers that are still very much about personal contact. And I think the Legal Advice Middle East does give the right platform for that first contact, and then that can be developed in something further.